This new moon is not just a new beginning. It is highly tied to the story that's about to starting in April, because we have an eclipse happening in the sign of Aries in April. So watch this video where I'm covering everything you need to know about the new moon that is happening in the sign of Aries on March 21st, 2023, because it is the beginning of the story that is about to play out over this year. This new moon highlights themes of aggression and anger potentially coming out, but it's also an opportunity for us to break the habit of being our past. So let's dive into what this new moon in Aries is all about and all the aspects that are coming into play with this new moon. Hello and welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. My name is Isabelle and I help you understand who you are using personality typing systems and astrology, because I was the person who did not understand themselves for way too long, and this led me to never knowing really what I wanted, and it left me constantly confused just in life in general and with my sense of self. And then I discovered personality typing systems and astrology and my life changed. So one of the methods of astrology that I use is current astrology, and I highly follow the new moons and full moons. So today I am talking about what the new moon in Aries is all about. This moon is occurring on March 21st, 2023. So I recommend watching this video, hopefully, once you found it, the 3 days prior to the event, because the new moon has a shadow period, just as any planetary transit has a shadow period. So the new moon does not just affect us on the day it occurs at its peak, but also the 3 days before and the 3 days after. So from March 18th to March 24th, we will feel the energy of this new moon in Aries. And so if you watch this video now, I'm going to share my advice for what you need to do to harness the best of this energy, because every planet and every zodiac sign, every archetype can be embraced in a positive sense and in a negative, just as every energy is in this world. As energetic beings, we can have a positive expression or a negative expression. So when we understand these transits and understand all the factors that are coming into play for these transits, we can harness the positive sides of them rather than the negative. And if you know anything about the Aries archetype, Aries is bold, brave, assertive. So this can manifest in the negative sense, where we become very aggressive during this time, speak impulsively, take impulsive action, be harsh on ourselves, be harsh towards other people. And we don't want to live a life of negativity. So in this video, I'm going to cover what the new moon in Aries is all about, every transit and aspect that's occurring with it that is important to the event. A lot of people love to cover every single transit that's also happening at the same time, and that can leave us overwhelmed, especially if we're new to astrology. So in this video, I'm only covering the aspects that are important to know for this transit. So let's dive into what the new moon in Aries is all about in March 21st, 2023. This new moon in Aries occurs right after the spring equinox. After all, a new moon is where the sun and moon are in the same position. So the sun just entered Aries on March 21st on March 20th. And so the new moon happens right after. This means that the new moon is happening in a very early degree. It's happening at 0.48 degrees, not even in the first degree of Aries. So the theme around new beginnings is especially heightened with it being in such an early degree. And the only thing you need to know about that based off of the degree is knowing, it helps you know what house the new moon is happening in for you, because you have houses in astrology. So if you go look at your birth chart, go find Aries in your chart and look for 0.48 degree, which will be right where the first black dash is, maybe even a little before it. And look at what house it's in. That's where you're going to feel these themes of new beginnings and so much more, as the new moon in Aries is not just about new beginnings. Yes, new moons bring up themes of new beginnings. It's where we initiate something new, we set intentions. That is a very important theme of new moons. But overall, I'm seeing a lot of people focus on that end of the Aries new moon and not a lot on these other ends that are heightened or that are especially important for this transit. To summarize the new moon in Aries, we can have strong emotional reactions during this time, heightened levels of aggression, the desire to be impulsive, the heightened desire for massive change, and we can experience new ways of thinking. So to break down the reason behind any of these, let's go through the transits happening with the new moon in Aries. So Aries, like you know, is all about the archetype. It's the first archetype of the zodiac, and it represents the moment we come out of the womb. We've recently had a lot of Pisces energy the last 2 months. Saturn just entered Pisces, which is affecting this new moon as well. And so there's been a heightened theme on self-reflection and nurturing the self and keeping to yourself and keeping yourself safe from the world. And you know, Pisces is where we learn to keep our energy in and stay safe in the womb, in a sense, an imaginary world and away from the harsh realities. Aries is where we first enter the world, where we have a sense of self. I am. That is the phrase that goes with Aries. It's all about how we are interacting with the world. We become aware of our senses and we become aware of the harshness of reality, so to say. So with the new moon in Aries, new beginnings are always heightened, and so is assertiveness. We don't just have, though, a new moon happening here. Yes, the sun is in Aries and the moon is in Aries, but we also have Jupiter still in Aries, which has been in Aries since, I believe, May of 2022. And we have Chiron in Aries, and we have Mercury in Aries. So to touch more on what it means that we have Mercury in Aries, because it's very important because Mercury is conjunct the new moon. With Mercury in Aries, we want to have bold ways of thinking. We can be a little more impulsive with our word during this time. And as Aries is the first of the zodiac, we're trying to do things in new ways. We also learn through action instead of learning through words or written or through auditory. We want to take action first and learn later. So there's a heightened sense of impulsiveness that can come up. So with the new moon conjunct Mercury, we can have a huge new beginning around the way we think and the way we learn. This can also mean aggression can come up because Aries is a very assertive person. They are a fire sign. Aggression can come up with Aries. So during this time, you might feel called to speak before you think. You might be called to take action without thinking it through. You might feel like you just can't take anymore and you want to blow up. And if you are a more gentle, sensitive sign, water sign, or main placements in Pisces or Scorpio or Cancer, or maybe even Libra or Virgo, those are just a few examples. But with a lot of these placements, if you're a more gentle person, this can be a little alarming for you because you don't want to blow up. You love to keep the peace, and yet you can't help but not take anymore. And so with the new moon in Aries and Mercury conjunct this new moon in Aries happening on March 21st, you might feel this aggression surfacing, but know that aggression is a sign that you need something or you are repressing something. Anger is a good thing. It can be a motivator in one sense, which is one positive aspect of anger, but it is a signal to our body, from our bodies and from our emotions, that we need something, that something's out of alignment. So when this anger surfaces for you during the new moon in Aries, instead of acting impulsively, take a breath to think and ask yourself, what is it I need right now? Or what is it I'm repressing right now? So instead of releasing it onto other people and potentially causing conflict that is not in alignment with your soul's purpose, your destiny, or even just what you want, you can instead reflect on it and take care of your own needs for yourself. Aries is an independent zodiac sign. So with this new moon in Aries, we can experience new beginnings in how independent we are. We can experience also new beginnings in how we express who we are. Depending on the house this is happening in for you, will show where you experience these new beginnings the most and how you initiate more independence. If it's in your 4th house, you're going to try to be more independent in your family, and aggression might come up along the way. If it's in your 6th house, you might try to be more self-sustainable in how you take care of yourself, and you can become very frustrated with how you feel physically. You might even have health issues coming up for you. These are just a few examples. Look at the house that's happening in for you and notice what you can do for yourself. Chiron and Jupiter are also in Aries during this time, and this simply just affects how much energy we have in the Aries archetype. So this aggression, this need for independence, this is all heightened in our awareness right now. We feel a need to change something. And with Chiron and Aries, and we've had a few aspects over the last 6 months with Chiron and Aries, there's a heightened need to be more independent and heal ourselves from our anger. So this can be even more something that we reflect on now. And with Jupiter in Aries, we want to expand even more. We want to expand our independence, expand who we are, be bold and be brave. So these aspects only come into play and are only important to note for the new moon in Aries in the context of independence and channeling aggression. In the end, this new moon in Aries is a great time for us to become more independent and think about how we express our sense of self. Have you been taking a back seat too long in your life? Are you allowing people to bulldoze over you? Do you need to stand up for yourself a little better? The Aries archetype is someone who doesn't take no for an answer. They charge their way through everything. The Aries archetype is something that we all need within us. It is where we learn to be assertive and be our own standalone person in the world rather than living for other people. So allow this to be a time to really reflect on any hurts or pains that you have, anything related to nurturance or how independent you are. Is there anger that has built up there? Is there frustration? Find ways to release this anger during this time other than on people. How can you be more self-reliant and nurture yourself? Again, Aries is all about this independence, but we all need a sense of nurturing. And this is a new moon in Aries, and the moon is all about how we nurture ourselves. So we each need the Aries archetype within us to nurture ourselves. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this new moon is connected to the new moon the new moon's solar eclipse that is happening in the sign of Aries in April. We have a solar eclipse happening in April, and that this new moon happening now is heavily tied to this event. You can think of it as the preface chapter before we jump into the book about this story that is about to play out starting in April with the eclipse in Aries and the eclipses that are going to happen in Libra. This whole eclipse season with Aries and Libra that we're about to enter is all about our relationship between hyper-independence and codependency. It's where we go between forming a sense of self and assertion and being peaceful and merging with other people and cultivating relationships. So before we can get to that chapter and have this solar eclipse story unfold, we need to reflect on what we want to start first. This is where we are first experimenting with what we want to do as this new moon in Aries is occurring on March 21st. We need to think about, what do we want to start? Again, new moons are a time of new beginnings, so maybe write your intentions for what you want to do and be in the world. There's everything you need to know about the new moon occurring at 0.48 degrees in the sign of Aries on March 21st. Please leave a comment below if you have any other questions about this transit and what I missed about this transit that you are still confused about, and if you need any advice. What house is this new moon happening in for you? And I'll give you a little tidbit of information on what you should do during this time to best embrace this energy and what themes are going to come up for you. Leave those comments below. While you're down there, grab the free birth chart workbook where I walk you through understanding the basics of your birth chart and actually embodying the energy and using them so that you can live a more fulfilling life. Oftentimes, a lot of people were like me when I got into astrology, where I just took in all the information and didn't do anything with it other than just read about it and know it in my head and have it memorized. So the free birth chart workbook uses journal prompts to help you understand and use your birth chart to your benefit. It takes 10 minutes or less to do the whole workbook, so grab the free birth chart workbook in the link in the description below. If you want to learn more about your chart or get even a personalized horoscope for this new moon, we can book a 30-minute reading for $30 in the link in the description below. If you're more of a workbook person, you should check out the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle, where we have all of our workbooks and courses on astrology, Enneagram, mindfulness, and more for only $30 in the link in the description below. Grab it now because I have no idea how long I'm going to offer it for. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope it helped you stay energetically aligned for this massive transit that's about to happen right before we jump into our eclipse story that is about to play out. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos on astrology. If you don't quite understand astrology, I have a ton of playlists over on this channel to help you understand your chart. And if you have any other questions or want to learn about more aspects, let me know in the comments below, and I will be filming that shortly. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave that comment below, check out all the links in the descriptions below, and hope you have a wonderful new moon. From my heart to yours, namaste.